Okay guys, today we're going to talk about shapes of distributions. And this is just talking about the shape that the graphs make once we're done graphing them. So there's a couple of different graphs we've already talked about. We spent some time on dot plots here in the middle, okay, and also on histograms here on the left. And if you'll notice down here on the two graphs, the histogram and the dot plot look very similar. And that's because they're just both counting the number of times something happens. So the shapes on them are very similar. Now, the new type of graph is the box plot. And we haven't talked about box plots yet, but we are going to be talking about them next week. So we're going to go ahead and discuss the symmetry that some of these graphs can have. So the first type of shape that we're going to talk about is the symmetric shape. When graphed, a vertical line drawn at the center will form mirror images, with the left half of the graph being the mirror image of the right half. Okay, in the histogram and the dot plot, this shape is referred to as being a bell shape or a mound. The most typical symmetric histogram or dot plot has the highest vertical column in the center. This shape is often referred to as being a normal curve or a normal distribution. So all of these are the same, or the words for the same thing. So this is a symmetric bell-shaped curve. Notice how the left side over here is a mirror image of the right side over here. Same thing happens on the dot plot. Notice the left side is a mirror image of the right side. And even down here in this new box plot, I know you don't know what any of this means yet, but notice that the left side is the mirror image of the right side. They all have this vertical line of symmetry, okay? And so we call this a symmetric shape, okay? All right, let's look at the next one. This is also symmetric shape, okay? So the left side and the right side are going to be the same, but it's going to be a different shape. Notice how this is a U shape. You see that? The left side is still a reflection of the right side, right? But the shape goes from large down to small and then back up to large again, okay? Unlike the bell shape, which started small and then went up to large and then back down to small. So it's kind of like an x-axis reflection of the symmetric bell-shaped curve. So those are the two symmetric curves. Notice you really can't tell the difference with the box plot. We just call it symmetric. It's not bell-shaped or U-shaped. It's just symmetric. Okay? All right. Now we have two more called skewed left and skewed right. So let's talk about skewed right. Skewed right means that fewer data points are found to the right of the graph. Okay, so fewer data points or plots are found to the right of the graph, and that is skewed right. So there's actually less or fewer on the right for a skewed right. Okay, so look at this one here. This is skewed to the right because there are fewer data points on the right. Notice how it kind of goes downhill a little bit to the right. Same thing is happening here. It's kind of moving downhill. There's fewer data points on the right side. So the histogram and the dot plot look kind of the same again, but the box plot is a bit different looking. So for a skewed right box plot, you're going to see the box be on the left over here. So this is the box. The box is on the left, and then you have this long whisker on the right, and that means it's skewed to the right. So you're just going to have to remember the shapes, okay? Remember the shape that it makes. Okay, now let's look at skewed left. So these down here are skewed to the left. Okay, skewed left is the opposite of skewed right. Okay, there are going to be fewer data plots on the left side of the graph. So notice the left side of this graph is really low, right? But then it kind of rises up like this. This is skewed to the left. The dot plot looks very similar to the histogram, very low on the left side, and then also increasing to the right side. Now, checking out this skewed left box plot down here, notice the box is on the right, and then there's this long whisker to the left. That's skewed to the left. Okay, so I want you to remember what these graphs look like, because you're going to have to identify graphs based on their shape. Okay, so study what these graphs look like along with the words. Okay, last one, uniform. Uniform, do you know what uniform means? It's like when you guys are supposed to wear the school uniform. It means everything is the same. The data is spread equally across the range. Okay, basically everything has the same height. Everything here has the same height. Notice here, this is the same size on both. So this box is the same size as this box, and this whisker is the same length as this whisker. Okay, everything is very much the same. And so the word is called uniform. Okay. Now there can be some minor differences. For instance, if there was an extra dot right here, we could still call it uniform because everything is pretty much the same. Okay. But if there were several extra dots, then we couldn't use that word anymore. All right, well, that's it for today. You've got uniform graphs, skewed left graphs, skewed right graphs, symmetric U-shaped graphs, and symmetric bell-shaped graphs. And you do need to know what each one looks like. Okay? So head on over to Khan Academy and watch their video and then try the problems they've given you.